Well, it's Easter time, and because I have like 20 hours to write, record, and edit a video in time for Easter, I guess this will have to do. Easter eggs are defined as an egg that is either chocolate or painted with colorful patterns that are hidden around an area only to be found. Now, because the Easter Bunny isn't visiting any houses this year, and because he's stuck inside, the only place we're gonna find any Easter eggs is in video games. Well, at least for me. I could do movie Easter eggs, but I don't really want to get into any copyright trouble. Video game Easter eggs have been around forever. These kinds of Easter eggs are just defined as a little hidden reference, joke, secret, etc. that is put in a video game to be found by the player. Wow, I'm on a roll when it comes to these spontaneous definitions. Now that we got the explanation out of the way, let's take a look at some of my favorite Easter eggs in video games. One game series I think of packed with Easter eggs is Portal and Portal 2. I covered this game a few months ago in a gigantic analysis video, and in that video I remember brushing past a character not really seen in any of the games. Doug Ratman. He is the source of many Easter eggs in these two games, like for example his dens. Hidden around the first and second game are these little rooms that contain crazy rants and scribbles on the wall as well as a radio, at least in the first game. The dens start popping up near the end of the game, Test 16 and beyond. Most of these are the same, orangish tints matching the escape sequence near the end of the game, brownish shiny walls and the portal surface walls being covered with scribbles and pictures. One of which I mentioned in the review as being pretty weird. The Girls of Aperture Science Calendar with a companion cube over the head, as well as more pictures of people with blockheads. What I really wanted to focus this segment on, however, was Portal 2. My favorite game ever, only second to a certain 3D Mario title, which is also a sequel. In Portal 2, the Easter eggs are full and bursting. I even made a video a really long time ago about some of those Easter eggs.
I've been playing a lot of Portal 2 recently because I have nothing else to do in my life. And I came across some cool things in the game. Hooray! And I'm going to share it in a video that no one will see. Let's go.
Right now, though, we're talking about Ratman. In Portal 2, I think there are 7 dens belonging to Ratman. There's one in Chapter 1, Test 4, Chapter 2, Tests 3 and 6, Chapter 3, Test 11, 12, 16, and finally, Test 17. So let's take a closer look at them. The first den isn't really that hidden. I think it's harder to walk past it than to check it out. It's fairly standard. We got the scribbling of a cat jumping over the moon, along with unreason written on the wall, with some other pictures of cats and other crap. The window in this room leads to where you just were, on top of the glass. In Chapter 2, Test 3, there's another den. It's another easy-to-find den. You get a glimpse of the outskirts of Portal 2's Aperture Science. You get some more words on the wall, like Sucker's Luck and such. Behind you, there's a yellow painting on the wall, and you can find the most famous part of the den here, the radio, which plays this song. The next den in Test 6 is popular for its transmission Easter egg. Yep, another Easter egg inside an Easter egg. But one thing at a time here. You use the portal surfaces and the faith plates to launch yourself into this den. It has a mural of hands surrounded by blue, and there are bean cans strewn all over the floor. And look, it's Hoopy the Hoop. Yes, that hoop has a name, and that's actually its name. I'm not lying. Look it up. Now, like I said a few seconds ago, there's a transmission Easter egg in here, and it's actually how you get the final transmission achievement. What you do to trigger it is press the button to release a bunch of garbage, and in that garbage there's a radio. Grab it and bring it back to the room, and you'll hear a noise of some kind. And that's how you get the achievement. And what's even crazier is that if you put this audio file in like one of those audio to image converters, you get this picture, a companion cube on the moon. That's really cool and not at all kind of creepy and weird. Next up is Test Chamber 11. It's rather small and behind a panel. It has a drawing of a person with half moon eyes, along with more scribbled rants. Also, Wheatley makes a short cameo in here. And for context, at this point he's supposed to be dead. Next up is Test Chamber 12. This one is actually pretty hard to get into and get out of alive. The room mainly consists of vents and a bit more glimpses into the behind the scenes of Aperture. There are more bean cans on the floor and a sketchy drawing of what looks like GLaDOS from the first game. The second to last den is test chamber 16, and this one's pretty cool. First you have to blow up this turret by using the laser and crouch down into this vent. This one is fairly popular for the singing turret Easter egg. But other than that, it's just more bean cans and another picture, a hand and a bunch of machines or whatever this is. Finally, the den in test chamber 17. First of all, you need to get into the room with a light bridge and head up the staircase. There's a repeat drawing of the person with moon eyes, but then you get into here. Yeah, creepy is an understatement. The shadow of the fan blades, the piles of cups and cans, this goddamn picture on the wall of your player character, and a sentence that says, "The bell invites. Hear the turret for its knell, that summons to heaven or to hell." I'm assuming that's supposed to say kneel, but he rhymes kneel with hell. So it's either knell or heel. Yeah, by the way, this game has the same age rating as Minecraft. I think the creepiest part of this room, however, is that you can actually hear someone in the room. Yeah, I'm serious. You can hear someone. Listen. I think it's Ratman, but where is it coming from? In here? Is it like a recording? Anyway, there's even more to this room, like this hidden segment of the room. Yeah, a hidden room in a hidden room. Portal down here and you'll come to a secret collapsed hallway, and a window where you can see the test you were just doing. Another creepy part is that when you leave, the open panel that you used to get into the den closes, and you can't get back in. Finally, one last Easter egg. If you come over here with the developer's commentary and click the speech bubble in the middle of the room, this is what it says. Yeah, it gives out another transmission sound, which reveals a series of images talking about the Portal ARG when you convert the audio into pictures. Okay, let's move on from Portal. The Last of Us is another game I have noted in my mind as having lots of Easter eggs, so let's go over them. One of my favorites is this one in Joel's room before the game starts, foreshadowing the first time you play as Ellie. Now in this game, there's a bunch of references to Naughty Dog, the company that made this game. This Chinese restaurant sign can be translated to Naughty Dog Restaurant. There's also some Easter eggs referencing other Naughty Dog characters. Like in Pittsburgh, you can find Uncharted and Jack board games, along with plush toys of Jack, Daxter, and Nathan. Later in the game, you're in a pub called O'Sullivan's, a reference to the pub in Uncharted 3's intro. O'Sullivan's is also a reference to Sully from Uncharted. In Left Behind, there's a Jack X reference, some car racing game about Jack and Daxter. That game, by the way, is found in Raj's Arcade, a reference to Eddie Raja from the first Uncharted game. There's also this reference in a costume store where you can get a Nathan Drake costume and a Jack costume. Throughout the game, you can also find a book about the Shambhalas, a reference to the hidden city in Uncharted 2. There's also a whole bunch of giraffes hidden throughout the game. One in Sarah's room, there's pictures and stuffed animals and many houses in the game. This little girl has one in the quarantine zone. Several advertisements for zoos have giraffes on them, and the final chase has giraffes all over the wall. Now it's time for some random eggs, like the PS3s scattered around stores and houses in the game. Near the end of the game, there's some eye tests to spell run, you're almost there, don't quit, and the eye test apparently has incorrect grammar. In Left Behind, there's a skull called Skeleaster that sort of acts as a magic 8-ball, and this skull can be found as a treasure in Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Not really a Last of Us Easter egg, but it's still an Easter egg. Shut up. Finally, my favorite Easter egg, in Left Behind, you can find many advertisements for companies and their Twitter handles. And if you put them into Twitter, you can actually go to their Twitter account. These companies were made up for the game, by the way. And their last tweets, by the way, were telling everyone to stay inside. And considering the pandemic right now, that's fucking chilling. There's an Uncharted movie advertisement in a newspaper, and the guy playing Drake is Justin Bieber. Yep, that's real, and I hope they didn't get sued. Now let's lightning round these final few Easter eggs. Next up we have Mario Galaxy. I've already talked about the Hell Valley Sky Trees in the second game, but the first game has no shortage of Easter eggs too, like the hidden train in Toy Time Galaxy, Captain Olimar's ship from Pikmin in Space Chunk Galaxy, the Zelda Rupee in Rolling Gizmo Galaxy, coconuts changing to watermelons when you cap out your star bit tally, and the Pokeball in Bowie Base Galaxy. There's some cool Easter eggs in Sonic CD. Like if you wait and do nothing for 3 minutes, Sonic leaves and gives you an instant game over. But the more popular Easter eggs, however, are these hidden images in the sound test. If you put in a series of numbers, you can get secret images. Like this cute drawing of Sonic if you set the numbers to 44, 11, 9. This drawing was drawn by Masahiro Sampe. The text here says, "You are cool" in hiragana. Another image is Tails with a car saying, "See you next game," when you set the numbers to 40, 12, 11. This art is drawn by Judy Totoya. Yeah, not Toyota, Totoya. Not that it really matters because her real name is Yasushi Yamaguchi. We have this image of Sonic as a DJ with Metal Sonic and Robotnik with him. Yeah, this one's weird. This one's drawn by Kazuki Hoshino. You can access this image by putting in 4231. And by putting in 42421, you get this image drawn by Takumi Mayake Katashi, a Batman Sonic crossover image. This one's just hilarious. Finally, when you put in 46, 12, and 25, you get this image. Oh shit, I have the Japanese soundtrack on. You get this image. Yeah, this image is probably the most famous one, probably because it's so creepy. I mean, we have this thing here which looks like Sonic with a weird face, this text saying "Fun is infinite" with Sega Enterprises, and apparently this image was drawn by Majin, who is really Masato Nishimura. Finally, Majin means Satan, or the devil, or demon god in Japanese. One of those. Well, I just ran out of the games with Easter eggs, so let's just name a bunch of random ones. In Doom 2, the icon of sin says, "To win the game, you must defeat me, John Romero." And when you no-clip through him, you can find John Romero's head on a spike. In New Super Luigi U, you can find Luigi hidden in every single level. In Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, never mind, that was lame. In Luigi's Mansion, Yoshi's Story, Super Mario Land 2, Animal Crossing New Leaf, Mario Paint, and other games composed by Kazumi Totaka, there is a secret song called Totaka's Song, a 16-note melody that goes like this. In Surgeon Simulator A&E and ER, there's a secret Dan Bull rap if you press enough buttons on the radio in the game, and that leads to a trophy called What a Load of Bull.
Hi, I'm Nigel Burke. You might know me as the guy that lurks in the hospital pulling back the final curtains and saving lives in my line of work.
Well, I just ran out of interesting video game Easter eggs, so I guess it's time to end the video.